Fortnite is one of the most popular games, like, ever. On top of having the main game with the Battle Royale mode, where you need to be the last person standing out of 100, you also have more game modes like No Build, Save the World, but as well as user-generated content with custom maps. Anything can happen. Anything. So in Fortnite, you can have fun with your friends, have fun alone, like me, as well as participate in political movements. Yes. Now I know what I said might sound like excuse my accent, a crock of shit, but no, there's a real story here. And to tell that story, we must rewind back to 2021. Everybody knows Time Magazine, right? The best magazine nobody has ever read. Hey, did you know that I was Time Magazine's Person of the Year in 2006? I mean, so is everybody else, but I take my accomplishments at face value. Well, one day some people at Time Magazine wanted to educate our youth because, well, our schools definitely aren't doing the job. So what were they gonna do? Create a map where you have to do math and talk about Abraham Lincoln or something? No. They had a much larger plan. They wanted to hold a Fortnite event set at the Lincoln Memorial during Martin Luther King's iconic I Have a Dream speech. I can't see anything wrong going here, except that the game's main player base hasn't had their balls drop yet.
Ma'am, do not hit your child, ma'am.
The event producers were quoted saying how they wanted to teach kids about a vital era in American history via a platform they find familiar and engaging. A good sentiment, no doubt, but it makes me wonder if these dudes even knew what Fortnite was, because something tells me that a cartoony game where you throw boogie bombs at kids doesn't mix well with a very important political movement that helped shape the world and how we treat people today, but maybe that's just me. This event was a very big deal, and it took a lot of time to get fully set up, as they wanted it to be as respectful as possible, as well as doing their due diligence to do it right. The event was advertised by huge game journalists such as GameSpot, IGN, and even PlayStation themselves. I bought a PlayStation 5 for this, it better be good. In Sony's video, they said how they were going to take you through a march through time and played a video going over Martin Luther King's speech, panning out to show Fortnite characters watching it in awe. I don't know if this says more about me, but the idea of a bunch of Fortnite characters seeing the civil rights movement happen is like really f***ing funny, and even funnier that PlayStation themselves posted this on their official YouTube channel, as well as recreating the civil rights riots in Fortnite. Who made this? It reminds me of those weird Minion retellings of Bible stories that for some reason got really popular a while ago, but instead of it just being random white women, it was PlayStation themselves. But on August 26, 2021, everything was going according to plan and was set to go live so all the younger Fortnite players could be educated on Martin Luther King's legacy and all the important things he's done. Things did not go according to plan. I already explained why, hey, maybe doing such a culturally sensitive thing in a cartoony kids game like Fortnite may not be the best idea, but I don't think anyone expected it to go this terribly. I don't think anyone expected them to take it seriously because they'd have to be stupid to think otherwise, but you'd think, oh, some people are just gonna not take it serious and do some dumb stuff. But things were much, much, much worse. In the event, you walk into a Time magazine and step into the world of 1963 to the Lincoln Memorial. You can first educate yourself on the civil rights movement to give yourself some context for what's going on. Good idea considering that Fortnite is filled with 8-year-olds. No offense to the 8-year-olds in the audience. Get out. You can learn about Rosa Parks and her refusing to go to the back of the bus, segregation between races in many establishments, and more. You know, all the basic stuff you should know about the civil rights movement. But the main meat and potatoes is being able to watch the iconic I Have a Dream speech in front of a huge audience of 8 to 9-year-olds, like you were really there to experience this major historical event go down. It really happened this way, guys, trust me. Alright, I will say, this was actually done pretty well and is genuinely very educating for those who may not know much about the civil rights movement, and even though I'm pretty sure I learned about this stuff in like the 2nd grade, but whatever, I do believe there were probably some embryos playing Fortnite in their mother's womb, so I'll cut some slack for the uneducated. Shout out to all the embryos in the audience, by the way. During the speech, you were encouraged to use the 4 custom emotes made for this event, which all had to do with, well, what the event was about. But one slight issue, they may have forgotten to disable other emotes in the game. So you could be trying to listen to the iconic I Have a Dream speech, and the moment MLK says, I have a dream, the dude next to you will be hitting the Renegade. But this wasn't even the worst part. Not even close. At this time in Fortnite, they were having a DC collaboration where they were selling skins, emotes, and whatever else for DC characters. And one of these you could buy was a Catwoman bundle where it came with an emote called the Whip Crack, where as the name says, you crack a whip. So people were buying the bundle before going into the event just to spam this emote at any given moment. Now, the developers obviously realized that this was a problem, and they were quick to disable emotes so you could only use their custom emotes that were made. But because people have way too much time on their hands, they found an exploit where you could still use the normal emotes by remapping the emote button to the arrow keys on your keyboard, so people were still dancing all over the place when Martin Luther King was giving a speech. But worse, even though they disabled all emotes, the whip crack emote could not be disabled no matter what because of a contractual obligation with DC. So there was no legal way to stop people from whipping each other at the civil rights movement event in Fortnite. What the fuck? So I think it's fair enough to say that this event was a total failure. It failed at educating a young community on the importance of the civil rights movement, it failed at opening room for more events like this in games, it failed in every way imaginable. However, I think it's a really funny story, and that made it worth it. Weirdly enough, this somehow was not the last time a political movement would take place in Fortnite, because for the 2024 election, the Harris Walls campaign created a Fortnite map called Freedom Town, where you were encouraged to vote for Kamala Harris for president. I find the idea of people being genuinely swayed to vote because of a Fortnite map really funny. You can actually find a whole page on the official Kamala Harris website dedicated to this event, where you can see all the important people in regards to this election as Fortnite skins, like they're in the locker or something. Yeah, where can I get this skin? And I like how at the bottom they have to explicitly state how Epic Games, the creators of Fortnite, have absolutely nothing to do with this, because why the hell would they? I think it's fair enough to say that this didn't go very well either, nowhere near the buffoonery that happened at the MLK event, but who's out here thinking it's a good idea to do this stuff in Fortnite? Pal, I play as Peter Griffin from Family Guy in this game. I have no care to get into politics here.
Peter, what are you doing?
Fortnite chug jug.
What the fuck?
I think there's a lesson to be learned here, and it's that politics and video games are completely separate things. Nobody hops on Fortnite to learn why the civil rights movement was a good thing, so when you try to incorporate politics into a video game, especially one as social as Fortnite, you're gonna have the worst outcome possible. Like, imagine if in the next Mario game they had a recreation of the BLM riots in 2020, but instead with toads. That'd actually be really funny, but my point still stands.